Dean Cipher loomed over Godolphin University in genv Season 2 as a stern, all-knowing figure, seemingly the mastermind behind the school's deadly trials. For most of the season, Cipher, the new dean, played by Hamish Linklater, appeared to be the primary villain, a cold and manipulative soupe with mind control powers and an unsettling obsession with student Marie Moreau. He oversaw heinous activities, like Project Odessa, and pushed Marie to her limits, all while hiding a bizarre secret. Marie's blood sensing revealed he had no compound Vi in his blood, implying he wasn't actually a soupe, yet he still displayed powers, puppeteering people like bags of meat, which deepened the mystery. It turns out this was all an elaborate ruse. In the penultimate episode, Season 2, Episode 7, Dean Cipher was never the true mastermind at all. He was merely a puppet. The real villain pulling the strings was Dr. Thomas Godolphin, the long-thought-dead founder of Godolphin University. Godolphin, a pioneering Vought scientist from the 1960s, had been presumed killed in a lab accident decades ago, but in reality he survived in a horribly burned vegetative state. Using powerful telepathic abilities, Godolphin psychically possessed an ordinary human named Doug Brightbill, who adopted the alias Dean Richard Cipher and controlled him like a marionette. Every cruel lesson, every Cull the Weak seminar that Cipher conducted was actually Godolphin acting through Doug's body. This twist confirmed a long-standing fan theory and retroactively made sense of all the clues. Cipher's lack of compound V, his oddly extreme self-harm, and the charred old man hidden in his home. Thomas Godolphin, the true architect of Godolphin University, is restored to life after Marie's intervention. In Episode 7, Marie and the others discover the withered, burned man inside Cipher's secret chamber and believe him to be a victim with vital information. Desperate for answers to stop the dean, Marie uses her blood-bending powers to heal the disfigured man. Unfortunately, this is exactly what Godolphin had schemed all along. Marie unwittingly revives Thomas Godolphin's ruined body to full strength, even regrowing his skin and hair to his pre-accident appearance, and awakens at last. Godolphin wastes no time flexing his restored powers. By the episode's end, he telepathically forced the student to strangle himself. All these revelations build up to genv Season 2's final episode, with the true villain revived. Fortunately, there's a glimmer of hope in the form of Polarity. In Episode 7, Polarity proved surprisingly resistant to Godolphin's psychic control. He managed to break Godolphin's hold over Doug, the fake dean, during the fight. Polarity's magnetism-based power lets him manipulate electrical fields, and by extension, he can interfere with the electrical synapses in a person's brain. This means Polarity might be able to disrupt Godolphin's telepathy, at least in his immediate vicinity. Polarity could act as a crucial shield, protecting himself and others from being puppeteered. Marie herself also has the tools to make things right now. She's more powerful than ever, and motivated to atone for reviving Godolphin. We saw her stop a person's heart in training earlier. So in the finale, she might attempt the opposite, perhaps stop Godolphin's heart or blood flow to neutralize him. With Marie's expanded powers and Polarity's mental shielding, the heroes have a fighting chance. However, even if the students manage to defeat or contain Godolphin in Episode 8, this likely won't be the end of the story. It's hard to imagine such a major antagonist, essentially a new supervillain in the boys' universe, being introduced only to be written off in one episode. More likely, the finale will conclude the immediate threat at campus, saving as many students as possible, but leave threads dangling for the future. For instance, Godolphin could escape to continue his twisted mission elsewhere or be taken into custody with his influence still looming. There's also Sister Sage to consider. If she survives the finale, her allegiance and plans could carry into the next chapters. Sage is just as committed to unlocking Marie's full potential as Godolphin was, so she could remain an antagonist or a wild card. Episode 8 will be a climax, but almost certainly not a full conclusion to the saga. genv will not end with Season 2. The late-game reveal of the real villain practically guarantees more story to come. The worlds of genv and the boys are converging, as Season 2 featured multiple crossovers, a clear sign that both series are building toward a unified climax. In fact, genv Season 2 leaned hard into connectivity with the boys. It brought in 7 major soupies from the parent show in cameos or mentions, making Godolphin's story feel like an integral part of the wider universe. For example, Starlight appears in the Season 2 premiere to rescue Marie and recruit her into an underground soupy resistance group called the Starlighters. Annie explicitly mentions opposing Homelander's growing tyranny, indicating that Gen V is set just as Homelander tightens his fascistic grip on America. It's a plot bridge. Starlight's recruitment of Marie signals that Marie's journey will likely intersect with the coming open war between supes and normal people that is brewing in the boys. We also see the Deep show up in Gen V, and Soldier Boy and Homelander make brief media appearances, all reinforcing that Gen V's timeline is aligned with late The Boys Season 3 and 4 events. Perhaps most intriguingly, Sister Sage's presence in Gen V ties directly into The Boys Season 4, where she was introduced. In The Boys, Sage was one of Homelander's new allies until she performed a bizarre self-lobotomy to possibly protect secrets. Her survival and actions in Gen V hint that she may have her own agenda that flows into the main series endgame. All these connections underline that Gen V and The Boys are telling two sides of one larger story, and will likely converge even more in the future. From a production standpoint, it's clear Amazon is not closing the book on Gen V anytime soon. While an official Season 3 renewal hasn't been announced at the time of writing, the showrunners have openly hinted that they have more planned. The Season 2 twist itself was designed to set up future stories. This might be explored further in a possible Season 3 of Gen V. Moreover, the events of Gen V are poised to directly feed into The Boys Season 5, which is confirmed to be the final season of the flagship series. Prime Video unveiled a teaser for The Boys Season 5 that explicitly teases a Gen V crossover, confirming that characters and storylines from Godolphin University will appear in the final season. This means we could very well see Marie Moreau, or at least the fallout of her actions, play into the endgame of Homelander and Butcher's conflict. The two plots are on a collision course. Gen V has been building its story from the beginning to the point that the two plots will seamlessly merge with The Boys. Season 5 of The Boys is expected to depict an open war scenario, and thanks to Gen V, we now have a better idea of what might spark it. Godolphin's attempted soup purge, the chaos at Godolphin University, and the rise of a new kind of soupe, like Marie, who could tip the scales. Looking ahead, now that Thomas Godolphin has returned, the power balance in The Boys universe may be about to shift in terrifying ways. His telepathy alone makes him a potential threat, not just to Marie and her friends, but even to Homelander himself. If Godolphin truly sees himself as the next stage of soupy evolution, it's not hard to imagine him trying to seize control of Homelander's mind, turning the world's most dangerous man into his puppet. That could ignite a three-way war between Homelander's fascistic following, Butcher's human resistance, and Godolphin's new breed of pure soupes, each convinced they're saving humanity by destroying the other. A mind-controlled Homelander forced to slaughter his own kind would be the ultimate irony and a horrifying mirror of the monster he's always been becoming. Meanwhile, Marie's evolving powers could flip that equation entirely. Her biokinesis, the ability to heal, resurrect, and manipulate life itself, might be the one thing standing between Butcher and death. When The Boys left off, Butcher had only months to live after abusing Temp V, his body decaying from the inside out. If Marie crosses into his story, she could cleanse the damage, buying him time and rewriting his fate. But if she doesn't, that ticking clock could drive Butcher to desperate extremes, forcing him to unleash the virus or the last of his Temp 5 in a suicidal move against Homelander. Marie's existence, in that sense, could determine whether the world is saved or burned to ash. Of course, Homelander wouldn't let that kind of power go unchecked. He's obsessed with control and terrified of mortality, so the moment he learns about Marie's resurrection ability, she'll become his next obsession. Not as prey, but as property. Homelander might try to capture her, force her to heal him from any wound, maybe even extend his life indefinitely. A man like Homelander would jump at the chance to live forever. That possibility alone turns Marie into the most valuable and most endangered person in the entire universe of The Boys. That's all for today. Thank you for watching until the end. If you liked the video, like it and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.